I want to try to make this short-ish because I have to go somewhere. But I've been diagnosed with OCD recently, right? And it's made a lot of sense for a lot of things that I've obsessed over throughout my life. This YouTube channel, essentially, has been just videos of me rambling about the things that I would ruminate over. Existential questions, things that I could not just stop the racing thoughts. And almost pretty much doing the compulsion of venting or trying to seek reassurance or trying to find other people to relate to me. And that no longer works because I'm stuck in solipsism OCD and fear of having schizophrenia OCD. And there's no way to disprove solipsism. And I've thought about it before, like maybe about 10 years ago. And now I'm even doubting my own memories because I'm like, you know, technically my memories, like, could have been, like, placed in me, like, a week ago, right? Everything could have been invented a week ago. Last Thursdayism or whatever. And Vsauce has a whole video about this that I watched about 10 years ago. And I went back to it. It's called, Is Anything Real? And I had left a comment on it like 9 years ago saying that I'm thinking about these things, like, and at this point, it just makes me paranoid. Because if other people could be invented by me, essentially, how do I know that they don't have terrible intentions? Now, of course, everything I've experienced in my life would be, like, would counteract, I don't know, like, is a counter argument for that idea. But I don't know what happened to me, but I've always been very afraid of airplanes, and I haven't been able to get on one since 2018. And I've always had this idea in my mind that I'm gonna die in an airplane crash. That's just how I'm going to die. I'm destined for that. And that with solipsism, well, this could all just be a simulation. There's no way to disprove it. And people could just want me dead. Like, everybody could be trying to get me to go on an airplane because they want me to die. And if other people aren't real, then there's nothing, no skin off their, like, back. Is that the quote? I don't know. And I realize how insane all of this sounds, and that's the worst part, like, that the thinking isn't rooted in reality, but the fear is still there. And then it's like, well, what you're supposed to do with ERP, exposure response prevention therapy, is you're supposed to accept the thoughts and say, well, yeah, maybe I am schizophrenic. Maybe I am the only person on the planet. And, you know, that just, I mean, I get it, because if I actually do sit and I do it, it'll probably help me, right? But, that just makes me so paranoid. Like, I don't know how that cannot make people paranoid. But, and then part of me is like, just get on a plane, just do it, just fucking do it. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna die of hypoxia. I'm gonna, Alaska Airlines Flight 261, where they nosedived because of improper maintenance. Well, how do we know the maintenance is so fucking good here? Like, obviously statistics can show it. And then I'm like, well, planes could just be fake. Planes aren't real. Like, I'm just hearing them and seeing them, and it could be all simulated. Like, you can't prove it. Like, and I'm just slowly, like, unfucking raveling. And before anyone asks, I have a therapist, a regular therapist, and I have a fucking therapist I've been talking to specifically for OCD. And I just made an appointment with my psychiatrist yesterday, so, you know, it's not like I don't think something's going on, but at the same time, how will I ever be okay with these things, like, and knowing that there's no way to disprove them, like, because if, like, okay, someone tries to make the argument against solipsism, well, they could just be a figment of my fucking imagination. There's no way to prove they're not. That's it. Like, there's no reassurance I can even get at that point. So I'm just kind of stuck, and I'm not supposed to get the reassurance anyway, but you know, it's just kind of a fucked up situation. And I've always lived in a place where I'm right in a fucking flight path. Like, my house has always been somewhere where there's a fucking flight path, and it's like meant to torture me or something. It's literally meant to torture me with my fear of planes and hearing them and seeing them all the time. And I just wish that I wasn't like this. It would be like, I used to think I was just lazy, but I think I've just always been a lot worse mentally than I ever could imagine. And I was doing really okay. Like, I was doing all right for a little while. Like, I had a one week where I felt like a normal person, and I actually was looking forward to the day and like doing things. And then of course the shit. And there's another plane. If you could fucking hear it. So yeah, I'm screaming into the void. That's what this is, but I don't know. Still gotta go to work. Still gotta keep doing things. I saw this dude on TikTok who's like very schizophrenic, and that also triggered the shit out of me because I was like, I'm gonna end up like this guy. I don't know. And he still is able to go out and buy shit and like drive. So I don't know. Maybe everything's okay. But at the same time, I don't know. This is like the toughest OCD theme to have to go through. And keep Googling shit about. Like, I used to think nobody else thought like this, and I still do because you can't prove anybody else does. I don't know, but, and I used to not even know what any of this shit was called, like, the existential OCD, I've gone through all of it, just the compulsions, and it's really reassurance seeking is what it is, but, yeah, I'm not really sure what to do about it, and, me being paranoid and all that shit just makes me think I have fucking schizophrenia, and it's absolutely terrifying. And then a lot of people are like, well, people who have schizophrenia aren't aware that the delusions are delusions. I don't know, man. I'm just very self-aware. And I know that everything I say sounds fucking crazy. And, like, I know that it's very unlikely that random people who don't know me are trying to do anything to hurt me. But when I am so scared of something, it seems like I jump to that. I always thought I was just like a smart person and a deep thinker, but it's like, maybe if I didn't have all these things wrong with me, I wouldn't even be fucking thinking about them. Like, the whole nihilism, like the whole, look through my channel at whatever I used to have that's still public. And it's like, everything I've ever done on this channel has been me like ruminating on whatever, X, Y, and Z. And not like achieving shit with my life, because all I do is ruminate over shit in my bedroom. And that doesn't mean that I cannot achieve anything, but it just means that I wasted a lot of time, you know? Sorry for crying on the internet. I'm a very emotional person. And, it sucks because I can't really talk to people about this shit. I really can't. But that's all I have to say. I have to go to work. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, anybody out there in the fucking cosmos.